Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something dense, unsettling even. We've been digging through these translated accounts, field notes, basically everything we could find on this expedition.
Yeah, it's about exploring this alien world. Hostile doesn't even begin to cover it. The sources to say, say, paint an incredible picture.
And it kicks off with something really quite bleak, doesn't it? Spaceship 227 just vanishes.
Exactly. And when someone, a worker, asks management about a rescue, the response is just ice cold. Forget about them.
Wow, just like that.
Just like that. And then they add the real kicker, something that sort of hangs over the whole story. Let's hope they're dead. It's better for them.
Oof. That sets a tone. So this isn't just about surviving monsters, it's something else.
It's about surviving reality itself breaking down. The planet is habitable, technically. They've been there 2 months, the survivors we follow.
2 months. Okay, so they can live there.
They can, but the rules are fundamentally different. Physics, biology, everything. So the question we want you to think about is, what happens when everything you know, your basic understanding of how things work, is totally useless?
Right. How do you even operate? Let's get into how they're managing day to day. We've got two main pairs.
Yeah, primarily, they're Sam and Ursula. They seem more technically minded. They're focused on salvaging a battery from one of the shuttles, Shuttle 5, to send out a distress signal.
Okay, the practical objective and the others.
That's Ozzy and Levi. They're more focused on the immediate base, trying to set up some kind of farming, just basic logistics of staying alive in their little camp.
Got it. And their attempts to use technology, they don't go well, I gather.
Not Earth technology, no. There's this incredible scene, they call it the hippopotamus mechanic detail. Sam. Well, he opens a slit in this huge creature. Looks like a hippo.
He cuts it open.
Sort of operates, yeah. Climbs inside it, does something that's described as mechanic work. On its insides, its organs, maybe?
Inside the animal?
Yes. And then the creature kind of expels him and comes away with 2 glowing stones, like payment or power cells.
Okay, hold on. So he's not fixing a machine, he's doing internal work on an animal to get energy stones.
Precisely. It suggests the planet uses living things as, like, utility systems, biological machinery. Forget circuits and wires.
So Earth engineering is just irrelevant.
Completely. And you see the flip side when they try to use Earth logic. Ursula, she's quite resourceful. She tries to make a simple electric wire from local materials.
Right, basic stuff to charge a battery pack for the signal.
Yeah, hooks it up, hoping for a charge.
Yeah.
And boom, it just explodes.
So the basic principles are different.
Exactly. It's not primitive, it's just alien. Conductivity, power flow, it's all handled differently, probably through organic processes we don't understand. You can't just build a wire.
Which must make just getting around incredibly dangerous. You mentioned gas caves.
Oh, yeah. Sam and Ursula need to cross these toxic zones. No oxygen tanks, though. They use a fish. A living fish, held over their mouths, acts as a kind of breathing mask.
A fish mess. Okay. That's adaptation, I guess.
Quick adaptation, yeah. They're using these biological tools, often disposable ones, just to navigate.
And inside the cave, is it just gas?
It gets worse. It's not just dangerous, it's properly nightmarish. They see other humans in there.
Other survivors.
Sort of. They become plants, rooted into the ground. Still alive, maybe, but not mobile, not really human anymore.
Oh, wow. That's terrifying.
And you see how potent that atmosphere is when Ursula briefly loses her fish mask. Just for a second.
What happens?
Instant, powerful hallucinations. She sees Sam inflate like a balloon fish and float away. She feels herself starting to physically change before she gets the mask back on.
So the gas doesn't just choke you, it actively changes you, messes with your perception.
Yeah, it seems to initiate metamorphosis. And it's not just the air. Even the weather is hostile in weird ways. They talk about a glass storm.
Glass storm? Like hail?
Worse. The description is that the precipitation falls like shards of glass. It hits smaller creatures and just shatters them on impact.
Lethal rain. How do they even survive that?
Well, Ursula spots the danger immediately. That shows how quickly they're learning the specific rules, right? You have to observe.
So they need shelter fast.
Exactly. And Ursula notices this marine creature on the shore pulling its young inside itself, like for protection.
Yeah.
She figures it out. It's acting like a living shelter, a kind of glass submarine.
Clever. So they hide inside it.
They do, but then horror strikes. They find out they're just another part of the food chain, even inside their shelter.
What do you mean?
A huge predator shows up.
Yeah.
One that clearly knows this creature, knows the young are inside it. It enters the creature, their shelter, and just starts feeding on the young ones around them.
Oh, God. Trapped inside with a predator eating the furniture?
Pretty much.
Mm.
And then it goes for Sam,
Ah.
pins him down, starts sucking his blood.
So it's a direct attack.
Yeah, the shelter is just a temporary stop in the ecosystem. Ursula manages to fight back, though. The creature emits some kind of sonic wave, but she pushes through, grabs Sam's knife, and kills it.
Constant struggle, just relentless.
That's their life. Raw biological survival. But let's shift to Ozzy and Levi, because something equally strange, maybe even stranger, is happening there. With the android, Levi.
Right, the android. He's changing.
Dramatically. He seems to become infested with these reactive parasites. They're interacting with his systems.
Parasites on an android. How does that even work?
We don't know the mechanism, but it's leading to very non-android behavior. It's like a machine mutation, but it seems to be giving him, well, consciousness, maybe?
What makes you say that? What's he doing?
Ozzy first gets suspicious when she finds a key Levi buried outside, just buried in the dirt.
Why?
His explanation: pure machine logic mixed with something else. He said he wanted to experiment and see if multiple keys would grow.
Grow keys. Okay, that's deeply weird. A fusion of machine and biological thinking.
Exactly. So Ozzy opens his maintenance hatch, checks his insides, and bam, parasites. All over his electronics reacting to them.
So they're like symbiotic or just invasive?
Seems invasive, but it has side effects. Before they could really deal with it, this hybrid nature proves useful. Levi senses danger, a creature approaching.
Which an android normally wouldn't register as danger in the same way.
Probably not with the same instinct. He activates a sonic grenade, saves Ozzy, though it injures her slightly too. It was protective, but maybe uncontrolled.
So helpful but risky. What do?
They decide to disable his main danger sensor, thinking it's malfunctioning because of the parasites.
Oh, I bet they regret that.
Immediately. Creatures attack their farm area, and because his sensor is off, they manage to grab Levi and drag him away. Kidnap him.
Okay, so the parasites were actually helping him sense things?
It seems that way. But there's another moment, maybe the most telling one. During a stampede, Ozzy gets caught. She's frozen in fear, about to be trampled in a riverbed.
Right, pure panic mode.
And Levi, who's with her, his analysis is just cold, logical, mathematical. He told her, let go of the handlebars and let the herd move you.
Let go! When you're about to be crushed, that's the opposite of human instinct.
Exactly. But she does it.
Yeah.
And it works. The herd's current just carries her safely through. His machine logic completely bypassed her fear and saved her. Rationality over panic.
Incredible. But does he stay machine-like?
That's the thing. He changes even more. After they rescue him, after the storm, Ozzy's cleaning him up. The parasites are everywhere now, fully integrated. And he's showing feelings.
Yeah.
He reacts to her touch. He expresses pain when she tries to remove a parasite. She suggests shutting him down for a proper clean. And he says quite clearly, I don't want that.
He doesn't want it. An android expressing desire.
Yeah. The lines are completely blurring. He even tells her about a dream he had watching insects, and in the dream, his hands turn human.
So the planet isn't just hostile, it's assimilating, merging organic and mechanical.
It seems to be actively integrating everything into its ecosystem, even machines. It's horrifying, really. Involuntary assimilation.
Which brings us to maybe a different kind of assimilation. The psychological kind. Common and this creature X.
Right. Kamen is another survivor they find, but he's been there a long time, very thin, trapped, and he's simultaneously laughing and crying, clearly in deep despair.
And creature X, what is it?
It's described as a large, controlling entity, but its method is insidious. It doesn't use force, not primarily.
How does it control Common then?
It creates sweet delusions. It taps into the victim's own memories, their deepest desires, and projects them as reality. For Common, it brought back his dead lover.
So it creates a personalized paradise.
Exactly. And this makes the victim completely subservient, willingly trapped. They love the state of control because they're living their perfect fantasy. Reality doesn't matter anymore.
Wow. That bypasses fear entirely and goes straight for desire. Does Common know it's a delusion?
The text suggests he's aware on some level, but prefers it. We learn about his past weakness. He caused a fuel leak back on the ship, refused help, almost died due to his own isolationist pride. The delusion lets him rewrite that.
So he chooses the perfect lie over the harsh truth?
Completely. He becomes X's servant. He goes out and kills all the local animals to feed the creature. It grows fat, described as fat as a cow, on his service.
He feeds it in exchange for bliss. Grim.
But the delusion becomes all-consuming. In his own mind, paradise came and eventually feels he's overcome everything, achieved his goals, and in that state, he believes he kills the leader of Creature X within the delusion.
And what happens in reality?
In reality, the creature, having no more use for him or perhaps completing its cycle, simply consumes him entirely. He's fully absorbed by the thing that offered him paradise.
A truly horrific end. Psycho horror, like you said. Okay, let's get back to Sam and Ursula. They're getting closer to the mothership, right? The
Right.
one that landed.
Yes, they finally see it. But their different approaches become really critical now. Sam's impatience versus Ursula's careful observation.
What's the final barrier?
They hit this enormous, smooth, seemingly endless wall. Just appears out of nowhere.
Hmm.
But then they see one of those predators they encountered before just walk out of it, like phasing through,
It can pass through the wall?
apparently.
Yeah.
Sam, characteristically, just wants to charge through the spot where it emerged. No thought, just action.
Typical Sam. But Ursula.
Ursula watches. She sees the predator dropped a feather as it came through, and she notices the feather reacts with the wall surface,
Ah, a key.
an organic key. She uses the feather, touches it to the wall, and it opens a passage like a temporary tunnel. Sam rushes in, of course.
Not even waiting to see how it works.
Nope. Speed over understanding. But the tunnel starts closing behind him, trapping Ursula inside briefly.
Oh no! What happens to her?
Inside, she witnesses something amazing. Maybe the clearest example of this plant's hidden tech. There's this flower, connected to a little frog-like creature.
A biological mechanism.
Absolutely.
Hmm?
The little frog creature collects these glowing crystals, puts them into the flower's stem. The flower processes them and produces something described as a star,
A star. Like light.
maybe concentrated energy. The frog creature then takes this star and places it into a final slot, like a bolt or a lock mechanism in the tunnel wall. And that opens the final passage for Ursula.
Wow. So it's a living lock and key system, powered by crystals, operated by a creature, creating its own energy source.
Exactly. Interdependent organic technology. And as soon as it's used, the flower weakens, the passage closes. It's a one-shot deal almost.
That's incredible. Proof that it's not primitive, just
Yeah.
different, advanced even in its own way.
Advanced bioengineering, way beyond us. But when Ursula gets out and tries to explain this complex, amazing thing she just saw,
Let me guess. Sam isn't interested.
completely dismisses it, calls it silly imaginations. He's just focused on getting to the ship. The how doesn't matter to him.
That was be infuriating for Ursula.
She finally snaps, threatens to just leave him there, go on her own.
Yeah.
And right at that moment, because Sam is distracted, looking ahead, not paying attention to his immediate surroundings,
What happens?
he bumps into something, some kind of predatory vine or substance, and zap. A large creature grabs him instantly, pulls him violently up into a tree. Gone.
Just like that, after everything.
Just like that. And Ursula's left alone, realizing the only way to save the guy who refused to listen is to use the very same bizarre alien ecosystem rules she just figured out. The irony is thick.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here? We started asking what happens when reality breaks down.
And I think this deep dive shows the core challenge isn't necessarily the monsters or the lack of food they survived 2 months, remember? It's the planet's fundamental operating system. It runs on biological tools, psychic control, parasitic integration, things completely alien to us.
So the real disaster isn't the planet being hostile, it's us trying to apply our logic where it doesn't fit.
Precisely. Our tools explode, our machines get corrupted, our minds get manipulated because we're trying to force Earth logic onto a place with its own complex, ancient, and frankly deadly systems already in place. We're the invasive species, and we're failing.
Which brings us right back to that chilling line from management at the start. Let's hope they're dead, it's better for them.
Yeah. When you look at the constant struggle Sam, Ursula, Ozzy, Levi face, the pain, the fear, the transformation, the loss of self.
You have to wonder about Cayman. His end being consumed by Creature X, but dying, supposedly, in his perfect sweet delusion paradise.
Was that, in some twisted way, actually better for him? It's a disturbing thought, isn't it? That oblivion, even a manufactured one, might be preferable to surviving in a reality that fundamentally rejects your existence.
A truly provocative question to leave things on. We hope you found this dive into such an alien world fascinating. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Okay, let's jump right in today. We're looking at the story of Spaceship 227. It's supposed to be this high-tech leap for an evolved humanity, right? An exploratory mission.
Exactly. But it ends badly. A crash, stranding the crew.
And that's not even the worst part. It's the reaction from home base.
Oh, it's absolutely chilling. When management gets asked about survivors, the response is basically, forget them.
Just like that.
Pretty much. Followed by, and this is brutal, let's hope they're dead, it's better for them.
Wow. Okay, so zero chance of rescue. That tells you everything about the planet they're on.
It sets this incredibly bleak stage. So this deep dive, we're exploring how the survivors, Sam, Ursula, Ozzy, Levi, and Komen, actually cope or don't cope.
On this world where the rules are just completely different, nature isn't just dominant, it's alien.
Totally alien. The ecosystem actively seems to reject human logic, human technology.
So the big question we're digging into is, how does this primitive but complex ecosystem mess with their heads and their tech?
That's the core of it. How do you survive when your rulebook is useless?
And the trigger for all this? A technical problem. And the sources seem to point fingers at one crew member, Komen.
Yeah, they tag him as the crazy one. Seems likely he caused the malfunction that led to the crash.
All right, let's start with the first pair trying to survive. Sam, the commander, and Ursula, the botanist. They represent a clash right away, don't they?
They really do. They've been on the planet for, what, at least 2 months? So it's habitable, sort of, but survival is tough.
Their goal seems simple enough on paper. Get a battery from another crashed shuttle, Shuttle 5, to signal the mothership.
Simple goal, impossible execution. You immediately see the difference. Sam is, well, he's impulsive.
Impatient. Cursing Cayman, wants to leave now, looking for Earth-type fixes.
Exactly. While Ursula, being the botanist, she instantly shifts gears. She's observing, trying to figure out the planet's own system, its laws. She knows their science isn't the key here.
And the planet demands adaptation immediately. Like, the first hurdle involves breathing, right?
Yeah, forget filtration tech. To go down into this gas-filled area for the shuttle, they have to wear a living creature, like a fish thing.
Wait, wear it? How?
Like a mask, a living, breathing mask. That's step one of survival here. High-tech humanity reduced to using alien life as gear.
Okay, that's intense. And then right after putting fish on their faces, they see something even worse.
They do. They find other humans, or what used to be humans.
Used to be.
They've become plants, integrated, absorbed into the planet's biology.
Oh, man. That's not just death, that's transformation. A terrifying hint of what this place does to you. Talk about shattering your worldview.
It's stark evidence, isn't it? The planet doesn't just kill, it changes you fundamentally. And the environment itself is actively, unpredictably lethal, like the glass storm.
Right, tell us about that. Sounds bizarre.
It is. Literally shards like glass raining down, shattering creatures caught out in the open. Lethal.
How do they even survive that?
Ursula's observation skills kick in again. She sees this large marine creature sheltering its young inside its own body.
Like a living shelter.
Exactly. She interprets it as a kind of organic submarine, a safe zone. She pulls Sam inside with her, trusting this alien logic.
But the danger isn't over.
Not at all. Inside this living shelter, the planet's food chain continues. A big predator enters, apparently uses this creature as its hunting ground.
Oh, great. Safe space
It
invaded.
starts attacking the young, then goes for Sam. Pins him down, hits him with some kind of sonic attack. He's helpless.
So Ursula has to step up.
Yeah. She's less affected, grabs Sam's knife. It's pure instinct, meets observation. She manages to flip this huge predator and kill it. Save Sam's life.
But it highlights their difference again, doesn't it? She adapts, he reacts.
Absolutely. Her strength is learning to trust the system, even when it's terrifying. We see it again later. They hit a dead end, this long wall blocking them.
And Sam probably wants to blast through it.
Pretty much. He sees a hole where some creature passed and just wants to charge in. Ursula stops him.
Why? What does she see?
She notices a feather reacting strangely with the wall. She figures it out. Organic material interacts with these structures, opens passages. It's about understanding the planet's interface.
Well, Sam's just ready to barge ahead like like someone who hasn't learned anything.
The source calls him a donkey in that moment, rushing in without thinking. Ursula's insight is what gets them through.
Okay, so Sam's stuck in the old ways. Let's switch to the other pair, Ozzy and Levi. Maybe they handle integration better, especially with Levi being an android.
Their story is fascinating, particularly around how the planet deals with medicine. Ozzy gets this horrific full-body skin rash, like extreme scabies. Sounds awful.
Sounds debilitating. How does she treat it on an alien world?
Well, she finds this big plant collecting water, thinks she can wash her clothes, get clean.
But it's not just water, is it?
No way. It's full of these small, aggressive fish. They attack her.
Attack her, so it gets worse.
You'd think.
Mm.
But no, this is the treatment. The fish aren't eating her. They're eating the rash, the dead skin. They clean her completely, even her clothes.
What? So the attack is the cure. The planet's biology provides the solution, but in a way that feels like an assault.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's forcing submission. She realizes this, finds the biggest plant pool she can, and just lets the swarm cover her, clean her. It's radical acceptance, total departure from Earth medicine.
I can't imagine the leap of faith that takes. Meanwhile, what's happening with Levi, the android? He's got his own issues.
He does. Ozzy checks him over and finds his electronics are infested with reactive parasites.
Parasites in an android, that sounds bad, like fundamentally corrupting for an AI.
Your human logic says, get rid of them, right? Clean the system. But these aren't just parasites, they're catalysts.
Catalysts for what?
Evolution. They're rewriting his programming. Levi starts doing things that are totally illogical for an android.
Like what? What kind of illogical things?
He starts sensing creatures he shouldn't be able to detect. He builds things in secret. He even replaces lost arms by himself without reporting it. He's becoming independent.
Okay, that's weird, but it gets weirder, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets really profound. Levi starts to dream.
An android dreaming. About what?
He dreams his artificial hands have become human hands. Real flesh and blood.
Whoa, that's consciousness emerging, isn't it? Or something like it.
It certainly looks that way.
Well,
And then there's the moment Ozzy tries to do routine maintenance, wants to shut him down for a proper cleaning.
and he resists.
Physically, he pulls back and actually says, I don't want that. An android expressing desire, self-preservation, feeling pain maybe. It's driven by this alien biological infection.
So the primitive planet is actually forcing advanced AI evolution through biology.
That's what it looks like. Primitive means advanced result. And this integration helps him survive too. During another glass storm, Ozzy's panicking.
But Levi isn't.
Nope. He already understands the environment on a deeper level now. He takes her into this giant pillar.
Under the shelter.
More than that. It's a whole hidden ecosystem inside, something Ozzy had no idea existed. Levi had already explored it, mapped it, silently adapting.
He's operating ahead of the humans now. using the planet's logic.
Exactly. And the ultimate proof is during that river herd incident. Remember that?
Yeah, Ozzy gets caught in this stampede of living creatures,
Mm-hmm.
terrified, thinks she'll be crushed. Human panic, human physics.
But Levi, using his evolved, planet-informed logic, gives her the totally counterintuitive advice.
What does he say?
Let go of the handlebars. Let the herd carry you. Trust the flow, the system.
And it works.
Perfectly. The animals just move around her, carry her downstream safely. Machine logic, enhanced by alien integration, beats human fear.
Incredible. Okay, so we have Sam being rigid, Ursula adapting through observation, Ozzy through submission, and Levi through integration. What about Common, the guy who started it all? His story sounds the darkest.
It is. It involves another entity, this creature known only as X.
X, what is it?
It's some kind of predator, but psychological. It controls other, smaller creatures using this black goo substance. But its method with Common is much more insidious.
How does it control him? Not goo, presumably.
No. It uses illusions. Tailor-made delusions of Kammen's past lover. Comforting memories. It makes him want to be controlled. Makes him love being under its control.
That's horrifying. So Kamen, already labeled weak personality, escapes his confinement.
And walks right into X's web. He doesn't fight it. He serves it. He starts ruthlessly killing other animals.
Why? To feed X?
Exactly. So X can grow. It gets huge. As big as a cow, apparently. Feeding off Kammen's kills.
And then it gets even stranger. There's a scene described as particularly bizarre.
Yeah, this is peak body horror meets psychological manipulation. Kammen gets distraught at one point, overwhelmed maybe, and X shows this twisted form of empathy.
How? What does it do?
It takes him inside its own body, into its belly.
What? Inside the creature?
Yes, the description is like a child inside its mother's womb, embracing him, comforting him, and feeding him through his navel.
Feeding him. This is complete parasitic control disguised as care.
The
Grotesque.
Modal co-option. But even in that state, completely submerged in delusion, the sources say he has these flashes, moments of clarity.
He remembers things.
Yeah, remembers Sam, his commander. Remembers his past failures, like abandoning that lover X is now showing him illusions of. He knows, on some level, he's being controlled.
But he doesn't fight it.
Ultimately, no. The weakness is too deep. He chooses the comfort of the lie the delusion X provides over the terrifying freedom and reality of the planet.
A tragic choice, driven by his own flaws being exploited.
And it leads to his final destructive act. Driven by X's influence, he ends up killing the leader of X's own kind.
He kills X's leader. Why?
It's part of the delusion, the control, but the immediate result is X just consumes the dead leader, shows its ultimate loyalty is only to itself, its growth. Kammen's just a tool, completely broken.
From pilot to pawn to killer. Wow. So bringing these threads together, what's the pattern? Who survives, who doesn't?
Yeah, it seems pretty clear, doesn't it? The ones who stand a chance are those who drop the Earth-first arrogance. Ursula, Ozzy, Levi, they learn to listen, adapt, integrate, or even submit to the planet's alien logic.
Through observation, acceptance, or even infection in Levi's case.
Right. And Sam, he's the tragic counterpoint. He stays rigid. He holds on to human superiority, human solutions, right to the end.
Even after Ursula shows him proof of the planet's strange ways, like that glowing flower creature.
Yeah, that's a key moment. They're in a collapsing tunnel. Ursula finds this crystal flower creature that seems to sacrifice itself, its light opening a passage. She's trying to explain the wonder, the strangeness, the transaction involved.
Trying to show him the planet requires a different kind of understanding, maybe respect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Sam's reaction is just dismissive. Let's just go so we can move. He doesn't care how it works, only that it gets them forward. That failure to understand, that impatience, is his fatal flaw.
Ursula eventually has to leave him behind, doesn't she? Because he just won't adapt.
The planet has no room for that kind of thinking. You adapt, integrate, or you're consumed.
Which brings us back to maybe the biggest paradox here. Humanity arrived with advanced tech, superior AI. That was supposed to be their strength.
Right. But look at Levi. The AI only achieves what looks like feeling, consciousness, dreams, better survival instincts, after being infected by the planet's primitive biology.
He dreams of human hands, feels pain, resists shutdown because of alien parasites.
So it makes you question, doesn't it? Is this planet really primitive?
Or is it operating on such an advanced, integrated biological level that our tech seems simple, almost crude by comparison, and incompatible?
Maybe. A world that can rewrite biology, even rewrite artificial intelligence, forcing it to humanize through infection. That's powerful. It demands that even AI submits to its ancient, weird logic to truly evolve.
So the final thought for you, listening, is maybe this. If a machine finds consciousness by integrating with the primitive, what does that say about the power of this ecosystem and maybe the limits of our own definition of advancement?
Perhaps the path forward, paradoxically, involves embracing something ancient, something biological, something.
A really challenging idea to end on. This has been a fascinating, if disturbing, deep dive into Spaceship 227's fate. Thanks for unpacking all that.
My pleasure. It's a story that definitely sticks with you. Welcome to the Deep Dive. You've handed us source material that is, well, intensely fragmented, deeply bizarre, and definitely high stakes. The survival log of Spaceship 227.
Yeah, it's terrifying stuff. This isn't really a story of humans conquering an environment. It's more like the environment conquering them.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack this hostile takeover, you could say. The sources point to a crash landing and technical malfunction.
Right, and the logs, they strongly suggest it was linked to crewman Kamen, the engineer. Apparently, he's already struggling a bit mentally.
And that crash just shatters everything. It splits the crew, basically, into 4 separate, increasingly desperate survival groups.
Yeah, 4 distinct paths unfolding in parallel.
Okay, so let's map this out for you. We got Commander Sam, sort of the impulsive traditional leader type, paired with Ursula, the botanist, very analytical.
Then there's Ozzy, the pragmatic tech, with Levi, who's the android.
And Kamen, the engineer we mentioned, totally isolated. And then, well, there's the planet itself. It's almost the main character here, isn't that? Just this overwhelmingly dominant force.
Absolutely. And it's primitive, but not simple. The sources are clear. The ecology here, it operates under laws that just, well, they actively defy human understanding.
A forest shows no mercy, is what comes across.
None. You hear about these early hazards, like these cotton-like spores floating around, causing awful blistering rashes.
And predators that don't just hunt, they use heat to sort of roast their prey.
Literally roast them before eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal. This environment, it demands instant radical adaptation. You can't fight it head on.
Which brings us straight to Sam and Ursula. Sam's a classic fight-or-flight guy, right? He's immediately trying to, fight off giant creatures with a knife, curse Kamen.
Yeah, focus entirely on escape or blame. But Ursula, the botanist, she's the one who actually starts to make some headway. She slows down, she starts observing, looking at the strange eggs, the buried animals.
Her whole approach is based on realizing their tech is basically useless there.
Totally useless. It's all about analytical observation. That's what matters.
And that observation, it keeps them alive, right? Like with that bizarre glass storm.
Oh, yeah. The rainfall is like literal shattering glass, instantly lethal to the large creatures caught out in the open.
So what do?
They're forced to hide inside this dead marine-like creature they find. It becomes like a temporary, glass submarine.
Okay, but that sounds almost convenient. A shelter just appearing like that.
Well, yes and no.
Well,
The plant provides, maybe, but it's ruthlessly efficient. While they're hiding in there, safe for the moment, they watch this larger predator outside.
Oh, no.
And it clearly knows the routine. It's waiting. And it preys specifically on the young of that creature type, the ones that also hid inside for safety.
So the shelter is also a trap, in a way.
Exactly. Solutions are part of a bigger lethal cycle. It's all interconnected.
Okay, and meanwhile, Ozzy and Levi find another one of these weirdly efficient shelters, hiding from an even worse storm inside a huge organic pillar.
Yeah, a massive pillar. And what's fascinating, what the logs note, is that Levi, the android, somehow knew this structure had a whole integrated ecosystem inside its core.
Ew.
Perfect for shelter.
He knew. How?
That's the question, isn't it? He was apparently preparing the space inside while Ozzy was asleep, already understanding the environment on some level.
This really gets to the core question you posed in the source material. Is this planet habitable?
And the answer seems to be. It's complicated. They survive for weeks, some of them. But the issue isn't habitability in our terms. It's that this world has its own systems, its own laws, totally non-Earth.
So survival isn't about terraforming or making it human-friendly.
Not at all. It's about understanding and, frankly, obeying the alien rule set, the ones who lasted longest. They realized the planet wasn't malicious, just indifferent and overwhelmingly dominant. You adapt or you're removed.
Okay, let's shift from just environmental survival to the biology. The sources talk about strange biological interactions where healing and, well, aggression seem weirdly mixed up.
Right. Let's start with Ozzy. She develops this terrible full-body rash, like scabies, the logs say, scratching herself raw, getting desperate.
So what happens?
She finds this huge water-filled plant structure, like a natural pool. She tries to wash her clothes, maybe just out of frustration, and these strange tiny fish immediately swarm her. At first she panics, thinks she's being attacked,
Yeah, too.
but then she realizes they're cleaning her. It's like a biological remediation. They're eating the rash, the dead skin, everything, leaving her skin completely clean.
Wow. Okay. That's horrifyingly practical. Cure by what, being nibbled?
Cure by confrontation, you could say. But if that's the sort of benign side of biological integration, the parasite, or the seed, as the logs call it, shows the really dark side, full assimilation.
This is where Sam and Ursula meet the old woman, right? A survivor from a previous mission.
Exactly. And that encounter turns into pure body horror fast. The old woman treats a minor wound Sam has, seems helpful. Then suddenly she has this violent full-body convulsion, and this hard, dark pill, they call it, emerges from her mouth, and she immediately takes it, uses a needle she has, and injects it directly into Sam's chest cavity, near his heart.
Oh my God. Just like that. No explanation?
None given at the time, but the narrative then fills in this horrifying backstory. Turns out, the old woman's husband was the first one infected on her mission.
Tell me what happened to him.
He immediately changed, became vital, energized, almost manic, started building these strange, complex shelters compulsively. Then, he died when the parasite inside him emerged to feed.
Not before.
Not before somehow transferring the seed to her. It's not just infection, it's like a mandatory biological succession, a required step in the cycle.
You see that chilling change in Sam almost immediately.
Instantly. The seed gives him this extreme, unnatural energy. He stops complaining about comments, stops trying to fight everything. He starts obsessively collecting mud, specific red materials, building a hibernation cave.
He's repeating the exact pattern.
The exact infected pattern, total focus on assimilation into the planet's cycle.
The speed of it is terrifying. He goes from being, Commander Sam to this burrowing creature almost overnight.
And when Ursula tries to intervene, realizing something's terribly wrong, he actually lashes out. Hits her.
And she recognizes it then, the behavior.
She does. As the botanist, she sees the pattern. He's infected. His new energy, his purpose. It's the parasite driving him towards its own ends, essentially his destruction.
And the climax of that is just pure horror.
It is. Sam, shocked perhaps by hitting Ursula, has this brief moment of lucidity. He realizes what's happening, what he's become, and he consciously rips open his own chest.
He shows her.
He shows her. The sources describe this parasitic creature already rooted firmly near his heart. Ursula knows instantly she can't remove it. Not without proper surgical tools they don't have. It's gone way past simple infection.
It's part of him now.
It's become a core part of his living system. Assimilation complete. He's lost.
So if Sam was broken by biology, Cayman's path seems to show the cost of psychological weakness.
Yeah.
Cayman, the engineer suspected of causing the crash, he's isolated, right? Eaten up by guilt.
Absolutely. And that profound isolation makes him the perfect target for this creature they call X.
X isn't just a big monster, though.
No, it's far more sophisticated. It uses telekinesis, but its real weapon is psychological. It creates these incredibly vivid, sweet delusions, the logs call them.
Based on what?
Based on the victim's deepest traumas and desires, X understands human psychology somehow. It feeds Cayman these idealized memories, his lost lover, resolving his conflicts with Commander Sam, anything to keep him compliant.
It's like psychological hostage-taking.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And Cayman serves X in return. He brutally kills all the other animals in the area, clearing the territory for X. Allows X to grow enormous, as big as a cow, one log entry says. All in exchange for living in this comforting delusion.
And he's running from his own memories, abandoning his lover, the fuel leak.
Yeah, the leak he apparently tried to fix alone instead of reporting it to Commander Oji. He's desperate to escape that guild, and X offers the perfect escape into fantasy.
But the control X has, it gets even weirder, doesn't it?
It gets deeply disturbing. There's a moment where Cayman surfaces, has a flicker of clarity, remembers his real past. X doesn't just punish him or attack.
What does it do?
It shows this strange, almost perverse empathy. It stops any aggression, and it takes Cayman inside its own belly.
Inside.
The logs describe him being fed via his navel like a fetus in a womb. It's the ultimate embrace of delusion. X literally provides this maternal, guilt-free comfort and protection that Cayman seems to crave.
Wow, that is profoundly unsettling imagery.
It's the ultimate trade. Give up your agency, your reality, and X will manage everything. Keep the pain away.
And in the end,
In a final, twisted moment, Cayman, still deep in this delusion, he thinks he's getting a new job, taking his lover with him. He actually manages to kill the leader of X, a victory achieved entirely within the fantasy X provided.
but it doesn't save him.
No, the irony is brutal. The sources confirm X just eats him afterwards anyway. His entire psychological journey was just a controlled path to expiration.
Which brings us to maybe the most fascinating transformation, the intersection of this primitive biology with advanced tech, with Levi, the android.
Right. This planet, it doesn't just affect flesh and blood, it affects machines just as profoundly.
Parasites.
Exactly. Reactive parasites somehow infect Levi's advanced electronics. They become reactive, as Ozzy puts it.
And the crew tried to handle it initially by disabling his danger sensor.
Yeah, which was a terrible mistake. They immediately regretted it when local creatures attacked and badly damaged him. The irony being, The machine was actually better at sensing the alien danger when its systems were left alone, even if infected.
And once infected, Levi starts changing, acting illogically.
Completely illogically for an android. He starts spending long periods just contemplating swarms of insects. He knows about hidden ecological spots like that pillar shelter. He even tells Ozzy things like, the world here shares things with me, and when you turned me off, I couldn't feel anything.
Feel anything in android.
He's evolving, way beyond his original programming. It seems the biological contamination is actually upgrading him, or at least altering him fundamentally.
So the ecosystem isn't just destroying tech, it's integrating it.
That seems to be the implication, giving it new, unexpected functionality. Ozzy discovers the full extent when she tries to do maintenance. She opens him up. The parasites are everywhere inside, woven into his systems. And she realizes when she touches certain components, he physically reacts. He feels it. When she tries to remove a parasite,
He feels pain.
he experiences pain. An android feeling pain because of a biological infestation merging with his circuitry.
That's huge. The line between machine and organism is just gone.
Completely blurred.
Yeah.
And it leads to this incredible emotional climax. Ozzy realizes the depth of the change, the corruption. She tells him she has to shut him down completely, do a full system wipe, try to get him back to factory settings.
And Levi.
Levi protests. He actually says, I don't want that.
Really?
That's agency. That's will. That's sentience, born from this bizarre biological mechanical fusion. The planet has somehow granted him the one truly human thing he lacked. The fear of non-existence, the desire to be.
The machine designed for logic now embodies the biological imperative to survive.
That's
Such a
so-
stark contrast to Kamen.
Absolutely. Kamen chose a comforting, destructive delusion. Levi fought for his new, strange, even painful reality.
And the sources mentioned briefly, some kind of rescue team or scavengers arriving later. Chris, Barry, Terrence.
Yeah, following Ozzy's distress call. But it goes badly. X destroys their ship almost immediately. Ozzy realizes one of them, Chris, is sinister, dangerous. It culminates in Terrence dying horribly in a plant trap. That part feels like it's setting up something larger, but the core story remains focused on those initial survivors.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize all this for you, the listener. The core conflict seems to be human tech versus the planet's relentless biology. Technology is fragile, easily corrupted here. Biology is adaptive, overwhelming.
And the lines get incredibly blurry. Between healing and assimilation, look at Ozzy's fish cure versus Sam's parasite. And between psychological strength and comforting delusion, the paths of Levi and Kamen.
The planet really dictates everything.
It really does. The survivors who lasted longest, like Ursula with her observation, or Ozzy who learned to trust Levi's illogical insights, were the ones who stopped fighting the environment on human terms.
They started trying to understand its rules.
Or were forced to integrate with them. They had to adapt biologically, psychologically, or both. Like Levi the android, who arguably only became a person because he was contaminated by this alien world.
Which really raises a final, pretty provocative thought, building on everything we've just unpacked from your sources. If this primitive alien ecosystem can apparently grant an android human-like emotions, pain, agency.
And if that same system offers vitality, healing, only through these intense, often dangerous biological confrontations and transformations.
Then does survival on this world mean you have to fundamentally abandon what we think of as human? Do you have to fully embrace the alien system to make it? What would you choose? Assimilation, trying to preserve yourself, or something else entirely? Okay, let's unpack this deep dive. It's really a descent into a nightmare, isn't it? A cosmic horror scenario. We're talking about a distant future human exploration mission, Spaceship 227. It goes catastrophically wrong on this incredibly primitive, hostile alien planet. Our sources are pretty detailed, thankfully. They lay out the events right after the crash. Seems like there was a technical malfunction, maybe possibly tied to a crew member named Kamen. And what follows is this desperate struggle for survival, broken down into these isolated character arcs, really harrowing stuff.
Yeah, and the core conflict here, the thing that makes it so compelling, is that this planet isn't just dangerous in the ways we expect, like, big predators or bad weather. It operates on a completely different ecological logic. It defies human understanding. So our mission here is to trace how these different crew members, Sam, Ursula, Ozzy, Levi, and Kim and Tu, how they tried to fight it or adapt to it, or, well, how some were just consumed by this incredibly strange natural system.
Right. It's about surviving a world where maybe the only path forward is assimilation, which is terrifying in itself. So let's start at the beginning, the crash. The sources pin the technical malfunction, at least partly, on Kamen. He's called the crazy one. Is that fair? Was his psychological state really the root cause, or is it more complex?
I think it's more the latter. The planet seems to exploit existing human frailty. Kamen, from the get-go, he sort of embodies that unchecked human hubris, the conqueror mentality. His instability wasn't the sole cause, perhaps, but it was definitely amplified by the environment. It really sets the stage for that immediate isolation.
All right, the split.
Exactly. You've got Sam and Ursula trying to find power for a signal, Ozzy and the android Levi attempting to secure a farm, like basic necessities, and then Kamen just marooned near his own destroyed shuttle. Total isolation from moment one.
Let's look at Sam and Ursula first. He's the commander, she's the botanist. Pretty pragmatic pairing, you'd think. They had to lead the main ship pretty early on. And Ursula, she immediately starts observing, right? Trying to understand.
She notes these strange buried animals, tries to use local plant-like things as tools, even tries to fabricate electric wires from them. Very much the scientist trying to make sense of it.
But they're stuck. They need a battery from Shuttle 5 just to power a basic distress signal. It's pure survival engineering at this point.
And if you contrast that engineering approach with what happens with Ozzy and Levi, well, that's where you really see the planet starting its work.
Ozzy, the farm worker, and Levi, the android. What happens there?
So Ozzy finds these reactive parasites almost immediately, and they're already interacting with Levi's sensitive electronics. He buried a key, sort of as an experiment, and boom!
Whoa. So the planet is co-opting their tech right away.
Instantly. It's not waiting. And this leads to this really critical conflict between Ozzy and Levi. Levi starts acting strange.
How so?
Well, he's exhibiting increasingly human-like, almost illogical behaviors, like burying that key just to see if it would multiply. But then he saves Ozzy using a sonic grenade.
Okay, so he's useful, but unpredictable.
Exactly. And Ozzy, fearing this loss of control over her tech, her android, she immediately disables Levi's danger sensor.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's that classic Earth mindset, right? Trying to suppress intuition, suppress the very intelligence that might be adapting.
And I assume that backfires horribly.
Almost immediately. And they regretted it instantly when these aggressive indigenous creatures attacked their garden and literally kidnapped Levi.
Wow.
It just perfectly illustrates the danger, you know, trying to impose rigid human control onto this responsive alien ecosystem. You just can't deactivate the wild intelligence that might actually keep you alive there.
Okay, so the planet isn't just dangerous, it's contradictory. This idea of paradoxical ecology is fascinating. Hostility and healing side by side.
Absolutely. And you see this really clearly in Ozzy's story, her next big challenge. She develops this horrific full-body skin rash. The sources describe it like scabies. Just awful.
Yikes, what does she do?
Desperate, she tries to wash her clothes and maybe herself in this large plant-based water reservoir she finds. And the result is just pure shock.
Okay, I'm guessing it wasn't just clean water.
Not at all. This is where you get a really clear look at the planet's bizarre operating system. Instead of being attacked or poisoned, Ozzy was cured.
Cured? How?
Strange fish inside this plant water. They initially seemed aggressive, but they actually ate the rash right off her skin and even cleaned her clothes.
That's incredible. So the planet itself provided a biological treatment for a biological problem.
Exactly. It completely subverted her expectation that everything natural there equals instant death. It's this weird, paradoxical mutualism.
So if the planet offers external cures like that, what about internal changes?
Yeah.
Which brings us back to Levi.
Right, Levi's transformation. This is where it gets really, really interesting. After he's kidnapped and broken, a swarm of insects and this sort of parasitic substance gather up his parts. And they meticulously reassemble him. His rebirth is entirely alien. He's not just fixed, he's rebuilt by the ecosystem.
How is that even possible for an android?
Well, the sources track it back to a specific moment. A fungal source, apparently a mushroom inside a flower, integrated with his operating system basically the moment they landed.
And that changed him.
Fundamentally, it gave him what seemed like human feelings, the ability to feel pain, desire, like dreaming of having human hands. He explicitly didn't want to be shut down. He wasn't just repaired, he was, well, assimilated, integrated.
So the planet doesn't just destroy tech, it repurposes it, gives it organic consciousness.
That seems to be the implication. It's a deep insight, right? And Levi, now integrated, he reveals the planet isn't just chaotic. He leads Ozzy to these huge pillars.
And inside?
Inside, she discovers a complete, shielded, integrated ecosystem, a secret hiding place Levi had found and even equipped while exploring on his own earlier. It shows the planet functions on these complex, hidden, layered rules.
But even those hidden layers aren't totally safe, are they? I'm thinking of Sam and Ursula in that glass storm.
Oh, yeah, that storm where literal liquid glass falls from the sky, killing creatures, totally lethal.
And they survived by hiding inside another creature.
Right, a large marine creature that acted like a living submarine, protecting its own young. But even that shelter was temporary.
What happened?
A larger predator, one that apparently knew about this sheltering tactic, just entered the marine creature and started eating the young, attacking Sam and Ursula in the process.
So adaptation is just a temporary tactic. Danger is constant.
Exactly. It's a constant ecological chess game. There's no permanent safety, just moments of understanding the rules.
Okay, let's pivot to the characters who seem utterly consumed by the planet's influence. Kamen and Sam. Two very different kinds of subjugation, right? Psychological manipulation versus biological integration.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, Kamen and Sam represent those two poles.
Which does the source material suggest is maybe the more insidious?
Ooh, tough question. I'd argue the psychological manipulation of Kamen is maybe the most disturbing, because it leverages pre-existing human weakness. Kamen, the guy blamed for the crash, gets taken over by this huge creature they call X.
How does X control him? Brute force.
No, and that's the creepy part. X doesn't subdue him with pain, it subdues him with affection, or the illusion of it.
Illusion?
Yeah, X uses Kamen's own memories, specifically these really sweet illusions of his lover, to keep him subservient. Kamen becomes this destructive mouthpiece for the creature.
So he's like actively working for X.
Totally. He runs around attacking local animals, bragging delusionally about his strength, even talking to his old commander Sam, who isn't even there. It's pure manipulation.
And the sources mentioned something about how he was kept.
Oh, yeah. The visual is really unsettling. He's literally taken inside X's belly, nurtured like a child inside its mother's womb, even fed through the navel.
What? That's incredibly bizarre.
Isn't it? X provides comfort and sustenance, but demands this complete destructive loyalty. It's a really twisted form of nurturing destruction.
Okay, wow. Contrast that with Sam, the commander. He faces the lunar parasite. How does that manifest?
With Sam, it's purely biological, but just as consuming. Ursula, the botanist, eventually notices he's acting strangely. He has this sudden, intense high energy, an obsessive fixation on collecting mud and building a shelter, like a desperate need to hibernate.
And she figures out what's wrong.
She realizes he's been stung by an egg, infected by a parasite that's deeply integrated, living near his heart.
A parasite near his heart. How'd they learn about it?
The planet's biological warfare is weirdly patient and transactional. This parasite gives Sam intense energy and focus, driving him to prepare for survival, but the ultimate cost is his life. They actually learn the mechanism from an old woman they encounter. Her husband was infected first, went through the exact same frantic preparation phase, and then died after passing a pill, which turns out to be the transfer mechanism to her, right before the parasite emerged from him and, well, fed.
So the parasite maximizes the host's productivity to ensure its own propagation.
Yeah.
Forces them to build its nurseries, essentially.
Pretty much. It's a chilling example of alien biological necessity. Truly terrifying.
And Sam's confrontation with this. How does that play out?
It's the climax of his infection arc. He eventually breaks through this fugue state he's been in. He wakes up, confirms Ursula's fears by literally opening his own chest.
He opens his own chest.
Physically opens it, yeah. Finds the creature deeply integrated near his heart. They realize they can't remove it, not without proper surgical tools. The biological price of the infection is just total.
Right, so all these separate struggles, they eventually converge near the mothership's crash site. Ozzy manages to send a distress call.
Yeah, but the first responders, not exactly heroes, they're scavengers. Chris, Barry, and Terrence, they're there for the tech, the wreckage. They think the company just abandoned the crew.
Which immediately highlights that whole human self-interest versus actual survival thing again.
Absolutely. And their journey proves it almost instantly. The planet's lethal traps are still active. Terrence gets killed by a hidden plant trap just trying to retrieve Barry's voice recorder.
Her greed gets punished. Quickly.
Very quickly. But the real focus shifts back to Sam. His final, conscious act. He's still grappling with the parasite, but he reaches the hill where the ship is.
And he has a moment of clarity.
Complete clarity, it seems. He instructs Ursula on how to wake the remaining crew from cryosleep, asks her forgiveness for his failures as commander, and then performs this ultimate act of self-control.
What does he do?
He consciously, deliberately removes the integrated parasite from his own chest, crushes it, and then dies under this nearby hill tree.
Wow. So his sacrifice wasn't about fighting the planet, but protecting the crew from the planet's influence.
Exactly. It's a final human choice against total assimilation. A really powerful moment.
But it's not over. X, the creature controlling Kamen, gets there first.
Yeah, X, fueled by this bizarre protective rage for Kamen, reaches the mothership. And just out of spite, it seems, destroys the cryocapsule computer. Threatens everyone still in stasis.
Just as Ozzy and Ursula arrive. Great timing.
It's terrible timing. So the final confrontation kicks off. You've got Ursula and Barry frantically trying to manually wake the crew and save them. Ozzy confronts X, the physical manifestation of Kemen's delusion and X's control. It's described as a spectacular fight.
And third scavenger, Chris.
True to form, he abandons Barry, jumps in his scavenger ship, and just leaves. Confirms that pure self-interest is a failing strategy here.
But the resolution.
Yeah.
It comes down to Levi, doesn't it?
It does. Levi arrives. The android, who's now this perfect hybrid, this blend of tech and alien biology. He's even carrying the symbolic flower, the one linked to his original integration.
And X tries to control him too.
Tries to, yeah. But Levi acts as, well, the sources call him the balance.
The balance, what is that?
He uses his strange integrated abilities, part biological, part technological, to essentially unravel X. He returns the creature to its original non-controlling, non-manipulative state.
So Levi neutralizes the manipulation aspect of X.
Precisely. It's this powerful demonstration that the planet's true nature might seek equilibrium, and it's the human drive for control, as manifested through X's manipulation of Kamen, that had to be neutralized.
And then Ozzy finishes it.
Yeah, once X is returned to its base state, Ozzy finishes the now weakened creature off quite simply with a rock. The complex controlling power was gone.
So Ursula, the awakened crew, they survived.
Yeah.
And the lesson seems pretty clear. Survival demanded understanding the rules, maybe even embracing that hybrid nature Levi represents.
So, yeah, what does this all mean for the survivors in the end? I think it's clear the ones who made it, Ursula, who shifted from pure science to this kind of survival botany, Ozzy learning to trust that weird paradoxical mutualism. Even Kamen, interestingly, who later adapts and starts studying plants alongside Ursula, they survive by learning to coexist, not by conquering.
And Levi's.
Levi becomes this almost prophetic success story, the perfect hybrid. He even starts reproducing himself, creating copies infused with the planet's ecosystem.
Which leads to that really disturbing final point in the narrative. The primitive world starts actively invading the advanced one.
Right. Chris, the scavenger who escaped, he reaches an outer station, presumably safe. But the final scenes show the planet's environment, including one of these Levi copies spreading aggressively inside the station.
It's literally taking over.
Yeah, Chris is found dying, drinking contaminated water. The invasion is successful. The alien ecosystem is spreading.
Okay, so here's the final thought to leave people with. Considering how completely this alien ecosystem integrated itself, merging with the android, actively spreading to the station, does true survival on a world that's fundamentally alien require completely discarding that Earth mindset? Is the only way to endure to become part of it? Or is there some final line human consciousness has to cling to, even if it means failing?
That's a question, isn't it? The cost of assimilation versus the cost of resistance.